things have changed dramatically in the last few years. I remember looking back just about 3 years ago, and to find investors here in New York City was a huge challenge, and most people would have to go out to the West Coast looking for those investors. But now when you see the massive successes of Facebook and Zynga and Groupon and others, investors are excited to get involved with startups like ours, and everything that Mayor Bloomberg has done and the economy focusing a lot on technology startups has really made New York City into a great environment for technology startups.
Well, I think in Silicon Valley you're having a major saturation issue and you're having resource wars between engineers. I think what's exciting about what's going on in the Alley is you have talented engineers that are working on things that are disruptive and what they want to do. So between the resource capital and the engineering talent here, I think you'll see a more developed and mature tech community building out here in New York.
You look at companies like Hotlist, which revolves around nightlife. We're in the center of the world when it comes to nightlife. Companies like Classtivity, Plum Benefits. These are companies that really needed New York City to thrive. And if you look at the calendar and the descriptions, it's questionable whether a lot of these companies could have even existed anywhere outside of Silicon Alley. And
we actually started the company in Silicon Valley in San Francisco and moved to New York about a year ago. And the reason is, if you look at the capital and the resources and the talent, this is where we needed to be. But also, we work with brand agencies as well as a lot of the factories that are out there in the New Jersey and Pennsylvania area. So for us, a lot of the location here was key to our company growth.
You go downstairs where our office is, and you hardly hear English. You're going to hear Spanish and Italian and Hebrew and Turkish and or Arabic, every single language you can imagine. It's an exciting place. We can attract talented engineers right there from all over the world. That's one. Two, it really gives us a sense of what's really going out there in the world. So on our block is the new Bloomingdale's. Down our block is the H&M. Across the street is Victoria's Secrets and Sephora. Those are the customers that we want to be able to interact with. We need to understand what they want, and New York gives us that perfect confluence of talent and brands and allows us to really deliver value to our customers.
It's the capital of the finance world and the fashion world and the marketing world and advertising world and nightlife and others. So the fact that this is where a lot of these businesses, which in many respects are actually antiquated and can use a version 2.0, if you will, and that they happen to be in New York and that the money flows through New York as well. New York City startups have a slightly different perspective than the West Coast in that although they focus on the product and making sure that it's something that's usable and useful for people, New York City startups also focus on monetization and have access to the monetization sources by being here in the capital of the world.
I mean, I think that's one of the biggest things first. I think that the community is very tight-knit in Silicon Valley. I mean, there's lots of entrepreneurs and they have their small niches and groups. It's almost more like high school or more like college, where New York is more like high school, where everyone kind of knows each other.